welcome to Travels with Geordie. If this is your first visit, my name is Peter Knowles and I live on a pair of classic wooden motor cruisers in and around Victoria, British Columbia, along with my lovely fiancée, Andrea. Anyway, here we are, currently in Fulford Harbour on Salt Spring Island, and I'm going to take advantage of this spot for the next week or two to do all our summer maintenance, which is basically sanding and varnishing and painting and all the things that you need to do at a bare minimum. Well, we'll see if we can do a little better than that. But I'm going to start with the foredeck of Poem, and if you've been following along for a little while, you know that I had some debate about what material this was and how I was going to deal with it, and well, I would have said I was very happy with it. Except, I know why this happened. This is mahogany, not teak, and it is much less stable, and as a result, when it dries out, it shrinks and the bond breaks. So I'm gonna have to refall this out, recaulk it, resand it, and I'm gonna have to varnish this deck. I hate to do that, but it's what was there before, so obviously the people who had this boat before knew that if you're gonna keep it watertight, it's gonna have to be varnished. But I'm sure the varnish is going to suffer a lot with any motion under there. Anyway, it's the next step, unless you have a better idea, and I'm listening. This is Teak Deck Systems sealant, and although it failed here, I think it really is a an installation failure because it is stretching an awful lot in all these other joints and not coming apart. So I'm really still quite pleased with it. Okay, let's see if we can pull this out as neatly as possible. It's amazing how this seam opened up the full length. And ones next to it are in good shape. effort to reduce the overall mess here, I'm actually going to tape the joints in this case. And hopefully that will reduce the amount of sanding I have to do. I really do hate to sand this deck yet again. It's the one thing about having an old wooden boat or anything old and wooden. Every time you sand it, you take a little bit of its life away. Okay, so the trick now is to not get this all over the place. Finding places to stand is getting difficult. This is teak deck systems. Love it, love it, love it. Let's get it into some of these seams. Okay. And we'll wipe that in a bit. Good. One. Beauty. Now pulling the tape in this wind is guaranteed to make a mess. I'm going to try and stuff it all in this garbage bag. I think I'll wait for this ferry wake to pass though first, because it's going to get pretty lumpy here in a minute. But I can see that this stuff is curing. How did I think I was going to get this in here? Ah, like that. Okay. Oh, come on, Peter. All right, well, as messy as that was, it was less messy than it would have been, oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll pick this up again tomorrow or the next day. I want to make sure this stuff is in really, really good shape before I start sanding it. While I'm working with the teak deck system sealant, I'm going to fix up a few failed splines on the cabin sides of home here, and I don't think I'll re-spline them. Well, in fact, I know I'm not re-splining them. I'm going to put TDS in them because there's just so much movement in this wood that it needs something with a little more flex than a solid spline.
between struggling on the Foredeck over there, I've been playing with this really neat G-Weike 30-watt fiber laser. Yet another laser engraver. G-Weike was kind enough to send it out to me because they knew I wanted to be able to engrave on brass. And practically the most important reason I'd like one of these is so that I could make all the little name tags that I promised years ago that will go on the inside of this bulkhead this winter. So I have to find a way to start to make them in a hurry. Now, the surface area of this engraver is only 6 inches by 6 inches, so it's not going to do that big engine plaque that I was hoping for, but it would have done a very, very nice job of it. I played with a bunch of other things that it can do, which is kind of neat. It'll do really neat raster images on this black aluminum card. It does a great job on the stainless steel. It'll even engrave in color, which requires a little bit of a trick. But anyway, if you're interested in how all of this came together, I did a full My Thoughts On video on it, and there's a link to that down below. One of the coolest things that comes with this laser is this chuck adapter, which allows you to do rotary engraving. And I think one of the most obvious rotary engraving applications would be engraving a ring. So let's try that. And no, not for what you're thinking, at least not yet. So, because I've had the best results engraving on this piece of brass, I'm going to use this piece to make the rings. So I have to cut a little piece off the end and hacksaw, grinder. What I really need is a lathe. Well, enter the chuck for the lathe, or at least the arbor for the chuck for the lathe. And we're off to the races. And a damp paper towel to catch the bulk of the swarf, and let's see what we can do here. All right. Now let's think about making a cut. Now, of course, I don't want to cut all the way through until I've got it all basically filed down the way I want it. So it'll take a little bit of while here. I want to basically finish up what I can before I basically part it by cutting right through. And a couple of grades of emery cloth, starting with some 400. And on to some 1200. One of the least known abrasives we all have in our house is toothpaste. That looks pretty good. Okay, you're probably wondering what I was up to. Well, my very good friends David and Rekka from Pinot were joining us here for dinner the other night, and David said,
let's make a one ring.
Let's make a one ring while we still have this toy. So David brought over the graphics for, what is this?
It's Black Speech from Mordor.
Okay, what does it say?
It says one ring to find them and in darkness bind them, I think.
Something like that.
My knowledge of this is
of whatever that is. Some of you may recognize it. Exactly. Okay, so we're doing a couple of tests on copper. And how are we doing so far?
It's gonna look so good.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna really bind them in darkness with this.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's do the final test on copper. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. How's it look?
Looks great. Yeah, that looks really great.
Okay, I can't say I'm not stressed. We're going to commit to the actual ring now.
We have one shot to make the one ring.
One shot to make the one ring. Okay, we've had to add binoculars on here to make sure that this all stays put. Engage the laser.
Laser engaged.
And we're off. I can't watch. All right, let's clean it up. But I think that looks pretty cool.
Wow.
Do we risk the inside or just say forget it? No, we gotta try
We
it.
have to try, but I know at least we have a record of how awesome it looks.
You got it where you like it.
I think so. I think it's gonna be this.
We're off. Okay, let me turn this. There we go.
Oh wow. Okay, it's time for a pack shot. You don't know what a pack shot.
I don't know what's a pack shot.
It's the pack shot is this.
Is that okay? Now I know. Okay, man, you want to be the first to wear it?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. What? Where'd you go? Oh, it works! Let me try. Okay, so what? You just that's crazy. Can you see me?
I can't.
Juvenile.